What is up, YouTubers? I hope everybody's having a great Monday. Melting Monday. We are going to be melting down some copper. We're going to take the forge. Before we even get started, one of the things I love to do that I've learned already is fill the crucible up right off the bat with metal. I like to put some metal, get a good chunk in there, and just put it in there. It will start heating up. It's not going to melt instantly. You have to wait like a good 30 minutes just to get this up to melting temp. However, filling it up early does make a difference, and it does help us out. Another reason I like filling it up right now while it's nice and cool, I don't have to risk any burning hands pouring copper in while it's hot or any kind of a splash up or anything. So let's put this in now that it's full, and we'll get it in the forge. Now I'm going to jump over, check. The melting temperature is 1084 Celsius. However, I run mine at 1100. As soon as I turn this on, it's going to look like it's jumping around because of the way the camera is picking it up. I have it set to 1100 degrees. That's the green number on the bottom, but it takes forever to get up to temperature. So we got a little wait. So as soon as you start seeing the smoke coming out of it, don't panic. That's basically, it is heating up. It does have, the wire does have like a varnish on it, so it will be putting out smoke, but it will eventually slow down, as you can see here now that it's burned off a lot. It's not melted yet. It does take a while for it to melt, but as you can see, it's heating up in there, and you can see now it's at 1083. It doesn't melt instantly. Okay, so now we're just adding a little bit more copper. We're going to kind of push down what we have in there, and we're just going to cram a little bit more in there. You can see it will start a flame. That's basically the any kind of oils that might be on the copper kind of start burning off a little bit. It's normal. It does freak some people out if they see it right off the bat. When I first put it in there, I was like, but after a while it will melt down and be smooth. So, and if it doesn't, like, it's not going to be instantly liquid. It's going to get softer and softer. Now, I don't have a mold, so I've been doing this where I just heat up my little molds. Not recommended. It will shorten the lifespan of your mold. However, I'm really excited to get going, and I didn't have a torch, so I ended up just doing it this way. So let's get it poured, and we'll see. Make sure you guys put on gloves. I always put on one. I know that sounds bad. I like having my other hand free in case I need it for something. It's kind of hard to move around with these gloves, but let's start pouring. This has got to be one of my favorite parts, is when you're pouring that hot molting metal. It has an incredible look to it. I mean, you're almost talking like liquid fire. It's so hot, and just watching it when it starts to harden from liquid to solid, it's just really cool to sit there and watch as you just watch it kind of slowly starts to turn colors. It's one of the things I love most about doing this. Now here I am going to do something a little bit different. Here we're testing out different methods of putting stones inside of our blocks. So I start off with a thin layer of sand, and then I basically plant the rock there in the sand. And so what this should do, my thought process is the molten metal will encase the rock, but it won't be able to penetrate through the sand. So once I start pouring, basically the molten metal will cover, it'll fill the whole thing except for the rock and the sand. Now unfortunately, obviously you can see I went overboard, and if you looked closely at the crucible, you could already see the crucible is starting to get more and more damaged. It did come in broke slightly, and it's been spreading with each use. So I'm hoping that's the cause, but I don't know for sure. As you can see, I've caught my table on fire just by overflowing it. But the fire goes with wherever the molten metal glob goes, so it's pretty cool. But I did ruin my table right here, burned it really good. Okay, so we're going to try to pop this out. However, as you can see, it's stuck to the brick from overflowing. And then even after, once I go to flip it, you can see that it is not going to come out. It is actually locked in there, almost like a vice lock, because the molten metal kind of went up under it and formed almost like a U-lock on it, so it won't come out. I'm going to sit here and shake it. I'm going to have to pretty much pry that copper piece off a little bit, see if I can kind of pry it off and bend it a little bit to actually get it off. But we'll see what we can do. I'm sure it shouldn't be super hard to bend. Copper, it's a light metal, so especially when it's flimsy like this, you can see I'm bending it. Lesson learned here, don't pour super fast. Try to be careful with it. But it's still, the rock looks really cool. It held in there really nice. So we're going to dip it in water and kind of get it cleaned up a little bit and see what it looks like. So that is still extremely hot. I wish I could have gotten the sound on that sizzle, but I will have plenty of sizzling videos in the future where you can just actually hear the sizzle from it. So looks pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try to figure a way to cut this corner off. I wish it didn't, but it did. So here I'm just kind of gonna experiment with a few different things. I think I'm gonna try some smaller rocks, trying to put them in afterwards, but I think the before was the best way that it turned out. Now these rocks though, they are super cool because each one of these rocks will actually glow in the dark. This was when we were on our trip across the country, me and my son. At one point he wanted to be a geologist, and I was thinking it would be cool to take him to different mines around the country and do some videos, see some stuff. I wasn't huge into YouTube back then when we had done this trip, as big as I am into now. I thought about going back and trying to find that footage and actually making videos now that I actually know how to edit the videos and kind of go in and over sound them, redo the sound and stuff, kind of like I'm doing here in this video. I've shot all this footage and now I'm explaining it, but the rocks look really cool. You can see all the different little types of rocks in there. These came out of Franklin, New Jersey, so they have an amazing amount of rocks there that glow in the dark. As you can see right here, this is we're about ready to pop this open and see what it's going to look like once we actually flip it and take it out. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I don't recommend trying to pick this up with your fingers or even your gloves. It's still going to be super hot. Use some channel locks, but gloves will literally burn through. You'll have a hole in them instantly. So more sizzling right here. I wished I could have gotten the sound on this in here, but I don't know how to play the sound. But there'll be plenty of videos where you'll hear the sound of this. I've actually seen some videos where they put it on ice, and it's pretty cool to see how it just melts. This one, a lot of the copper had a strange color to it. I don't know if it was the sand or what did it, why this one seemed a little bit different. So, but it does look pretty cool. Just like I said, the color on the bar, it's a little strange. I don't know what made it yellowish, but now I'm hoping I can find a way to really clean these up good. I'm not going to be able to take a sander to them because to keep that rough finish that I kind of like, but I'd like to be able to clean them. I'm going to kind of look online, see if there's some kind of liquid I can put it in. I've heard some people say ketchup. I've heard some people say vinegar, lemon juice, salt, all kinds of different mixtures. It's got 2 rocks in it that stuck. The other ones actually fell out, but later on when I go to clean this, that little tiny rock will actually pop out too. I wish the back was more flat so I could stamp it, but I can't really stamp these ones. But I still like it. I like that rough finish. I think it has a cool look to it. So I really wish I could show you guys the glow in the dark, how it's going to look at night. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess since I'm going to be editing this video, I guess I could pretty much show you that here in just a minute. But it is pretty cool looking. It has a really nice finish to it. Let's snap our fingers and we'll go inside. So here you can see under a fluorescent light what they look like. It's pretty amazing. It really is a great look. I love the green. I like the pink too. And then in the day, that's what they look like. So we are the next day now. This was after everything got cleaned up, put away for the night. It was kind of a long night. I kept making stuff. You can see I burned the table. It doesn't take much when you're dealing at these temperatures to burn a table. This thing heats up a little bit. Your tongs, you put them down not thinking, and bam. Now you can see the sticker totally melted off the machine. I don't know what caused that, if it got too hot, maybe trying to run it just too long. I am getting it fired up so I can use it again here in a little bit. We're going to end up making some little bars here in a little bit. We're going to try to do some more big bars and some little bars. So these are the first 2 bars that actually got poured. The very first 2. You can see they're really cool. They didn't come out exactly a pound, even though it is a 1 pound mold. Maybe I just didn't fill it up enough. I could have probably got a little more in there, but it's hard to get the accurate amount when you're putting the copper in, because you don't want to overfill your crucible and have leftovers, and on the flip side you don't want to have too little. So I just ended up pouring what I had. and didn't know until after they were going to be a little light from the pound, but they came out really cool. These were the first two. I'm heating it up, as you can see right here, just kind of getting it ready so we can try this again. As you can see, this is my third pour. It was a mess up, so I call it a pour, but it's not really a pour. I'm probably going to try to melt this back down today. What really happened, though, was after I ran it so long, it almost couldn't get hot enough to finish melting, and it basically solidified inside the crucible. And I don't know how this happened, if the bottom stuff melted and the top stuff didn't quite melt all the way. But basically it looks cool. It is the heaviest, but I'm probably going to try to just remelt it down instead. But the other two bars came out awesome. So let's pull out our other molds. This mold right here, I got this great idea. They're little tiny 1 ounce squares. I like the idea of little squares, and then you stamp a T on them, and you kind of call them T squares. I just thought it was kind of cool, a neat idea, and I wanted to be able to put something in everybody's package that I sent out. Now, unfortunately, one of the packages, two of the packages that went out, I forgot to put their item in there. I actually still have their bars sitting here. The 2 packages, I believe, were Scott and Ann, both of them, but they're going to have really nice bars to start their new package up with. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I'm just going to melt it down, I think, here in a little bit. Now, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys like the best, because I do plan on making more of these better formats. I like the embedding the rocks in them, so that way you can kind of have that glow-in-the-dark feature. But leave me a comment, hit that like, that subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys again next time. Thanks for watching.